Well, the slope on that car at 1,350 feet, almost a quarter of a mile. Now we're sitting straight down beneath the surface at this point here, about 250 feet. Some areas 300 feet as we pass through. We ended up here in what's called a Clark bed. These here were once veins of coal cleared out. These large openings that you see here are called gangways. We have 3 more gangways above us, 3 more gangways below us. A total of 7 here in the Lackawanna coal basin, and they're pitched off at angles, not directly on top of each other. Red line indicates a water line. I'm sure you heard water coming down the slope. You'll see water laying throughout. That water works its way down to the slower gangway, which is completely flooded. Years ago, they would have to use some type of a steam pump to continuously pump the water out. But in 1966, the state came in. There's a river about 7 miles down. They placed a borehole leading into this gangway. That water now flows right into that river. This area here goes in a northerly direction for about 33 miles. This goes in an easterly direction for about 7 miles. So this one mine has a total of about 40 miles of these gangways attached to it. At one time, you can walk underground here 33 miles in one direction, 7 miles in another direction. Black shows you where your coal is, gray is your roof and your floors. Again, we came down a slope. We're located right about here. We're going to take a stroll down this gangway. We'll see chambers as we walk through. We get air from the slope. Also about a quarter mile down, there's a large exhaust fan powered by electric. Today, as we go by steam. Further back, we're coming closer contact with a fan back in that area and giving us some breathing air. Black squares represent coal pillars, left in and necessary to support the roofs and the floors. Now these pillars also had to meet a straight line down for support. They couldn't be staggered in any way, and that could cause a roof collapse or what's called a subsidence. So every 30 days, an engineer or surveyors would work their way through, map out the progress of the mine at that time, bore down if necessary, making sure they were in a straight line down. It's called columnizing the pillars. Any questions? 66. This mine closed in 1966, as did all the other mines in the Scranton area. There are no more working mines in this area. Just right now, very little demand for this type of coal. This anthracite coal probably is the biggest reason. Now remember, when it was a working mine, they had no lights strung out. It was pitch dark down here. You couldn't see your hands in front of you. No boards between the rails which you're walking on. No red ash leveling it off. Very dark, very dangerous. This contraption you see here called a jalopy, or an electric mule. Now they once had live mules working the mines for many years, up until around the 1920s, when the mules were being replaced with the electric mule. If you notice, it runs a little like a trolley car. You can see that arm extended up in the front. This here is a man trip car, what the miners came down the slope on. They didn't have that yellow car you came down on. More slightly tipped, this way they can sort of brace themselves when they were being pulled up or lowered down the slope. The light you see shining behind me in that pit, nothing more than a mechanic's pit, where they worked on these cars underground, year-round. Rather than fight the elements on the surface, very cold winters and hot summers, temperature stays the same throughout the years. You feel it right now, and very rarely ever changes between 48 and 50 degrees. Their early means of communication, back in the early 1900s when they came out with telephones. As you're passing by, you can take a look at this one passing on the prop right here. It's a little bigger than your cell phones there, right? His relief man, because the fire boss started earlier, he would check that board. If you found any pegs still left in, you would have to go back and find them. Maybe they were overcome by gas, possibly an explosion or a cave-in. Make arrangements to bring them out, whether they were dead or alive. But the rest of the day, the fire boss, as you can see, had a pretty easy day. Maybe another little door attached, possibly had some kind of heat in there. Maybe catch up on some paperwork, or lean back, take a little snooze.